Hi everybody, it's Steve Olson, WSO, which by the way stands for Wormwood System Observations, March 26, 2016. Does Wormwood indeed cast UV light, and does this connect some dots? We'll take a look. Comet pictures or Nibiru. And lots of weird stuff tonight, lots of interesting stuff. It seems like things are heating up pretty fast. Things are accelerating. Do you remember this photo we talked about yesterday? Well, one of the things that's really funny about this photo is it draws the shills up because you'll see a bunch of automatic reactions to the introduction to the video saying things like, what you've got there is atmospheric conditions, or you've got dust in the atmosphere, or any number of reasons why we might see a halo in space. Oh, and by the way, this thing's been there for a while. This isn't new. It's been there for a while. I see pictures as early as 2014 of this thing. So the problem with those theories is that this picture's taken from space, everybody. There's no atmosphere between this camera and the sun. Yet there's the halo. And it matches what we see from the earthbound view. This is from Russia, where they don't do as much chemtrailing as I've heard. And then this view from the upper Canada, where they do a lot of chemtrailing. So basically what we have is corroborating evidence. Look at how the light shoots out from the side of it from the ground-based view and also from the space-based view. So I don't think I got this through, everybody. This to me is conclusive proof that there's something in front of the sun. Okay? Now, one of my subscribers did an experiment today. So he set out to disprove, and I'll just read this. I set out to disprove your cloaking device theory after I saw the orb around the spaceship docking with the ISS early this morning. So he's doing his own research. As you all should. Don't believe what I'm saying. Look at it yourself. That's why I leave the links. After hours of taking pictures of some really bright lights in a dark room, I couldn't duplicate the perfect halo with the sun being square in the middle like that ISS pic that you posted yesterday, which is this one here. So after not being able to disprove my theory, your theory, I tried to prove you right. After many failed attempts, I found a UV filter lens, like you can find on many bottom of many lamps, just a little glass UV filter lens on a lamp. And I was astonished that your concept could very easily work. So the second pick is my artificial sun and cloaking device. And so that's the UV filter that makes the square light of his artificial sun there in the middle. And then the third was a screenshot he took from the ISS this morning, which got him going. And the fourth was just the light that he used for his artificial sun. So folks, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying they have some kind of UV filtering going on. It could be a chemical that has been sprayed. It could be a large, very thin UV filter. It doesn't take a lot to do UV filtering. But what UV filtering would do effectively is make the object invisible to us if it indeed is casting UV light. So that's why I thought the next thing that I'm going to show you is so freaking important. This is the stuff that Dill Martins just recently put up. And what was interesting about this particular sharp image of this was, first of all, that it doesn't move around like a lens flare at all. But the most interesting thing is it was shot with an ultraviolet camera. So I think what we see here is a very genuine picture of the incoming star. And the reason that they were able to overcome the UV filtering is because they used a coarse filter blocking all visible light and UV light, and that basically making a UV light filter. Pretty trippy. All right, so let's go back to the slides here for a second, because I want to show you this recent H1 footage that was given to me by a subscriber. Thank you and bless your heart, by the way. So what we see here is we start on 321 where we saw Jupiter exploding. By the way, another shill killer move. The shills come out and say, oh, ridiculous, how could Jupiter explode, blah, blah, blah. You know what? All my viewers know that I was being tongue-in-cheek. Of course Jupiter didn't explode. It was an electromagnetic reaction to the sun flares, we think. That's where we stand right now in that theory. So we think it did indeed make that bright picture, but we don't think it was because it exploded. Come on, guys. Really? So anyway, in this series of footage, what we're going to see is a new object appear near the end or near the 25th. And it starts on the 24th, and you can see it right there. And let's just progress it a little bit more. So that is pretty intense. There's 325. And there's that bright Now I haven't seen today's image yet. I'm waiting for, well, actually I gotta have some time and just go do it, but that is a pretty intense manifestation of either the comet, one of the comets that just recently made it in, because it's kind of got a tail, or the other possibility is that we might be looking at one of the objects in the Wormwood system. So wanted to show you that. All right. So the next one I wanted to go to is, if you haven't been to Skycam, all Skycams in a long time, go to www.allskycam.com. And if it's evening time like it is right now, if you haven't seen this Skycam view yet, the one in Australia, Savannah Skies, with the big huge orb and everything like that, go take a look. It's a shocker, right? The next one I want to look at real quick is Separated Society. And I know he's been critical. He's been critical of some of my work and things like that, and that's fine. But I'm going to push his video right now because I think he does an excellent job of highlighting out there from the ISS imagery, potentially what we might be looking at is the system approaching from the work of Separated Society. So take a look at his video on this particular issue. It is very interesting and compelling, okay? And he compares it to Nibiru photographs from years ago and so forth. So take a look at that. And then this is that video from Dill. So let's go ahead now and go to the photographs for today. And we've got a lot of good ones to look at today, folks, and a couple that just came in hot. This one, untouched, somebody just pointing their camera up in the sky, captured this object, again, not touched, this object, and 3 other objects. It is the configuration that we've been seeing, and it is pretty sobering, and we can see like a faint outline over here. I do think that we are seeing the inbound system here, so heads up. Here's a picture from one of the webcams that we have around the world, and just showing some weird anomaly on the horizon. And here we see the the chemtrailing gets heavier and heavier, but you notice how they're using this kind of parallelogram pattern. I think it's to obfuscate some of the triangling that's going on in some of the holographic images that they're going to be doing soon. I have a lot of theories on this, but again, this is very obviously not air traffic, because they're supposed to be at least a mile above or below each other, or I'm sorry, 1,000 feet above or below each other and a mile apart. So that's just not allowed to be that close, by the way. Here's a great picture, again, from one of the webcams, and again, seeing something behind there. This is a shocking South African webcam by an observatory. And what's shocking about this, and it was brought to me by our Wayne Stiegler. By the way, go check his videos out on YouTube. But basically, that object sets. I don't have the rest of the images here, but that red object basically goes down and sets like a planet. Oh, Steve, beautiful sunset, right? Well, yes, it is a beautiful sunset, but why is what it looks like a pretty consistent sky, why do I have what looks like something blocking it, blocking the light? Again, what's blocking that light? I don't know. This is just a good catch. I think somebody caught it behind the sun again. This is some new news. I just got this. I'm doing some research on it, and the reason why I don't like this particular comet announcement, and this is supposedly Comet 67P, and I haven't been able to find it on the Near Earth Objects site yet, so this is kind of fresh, or it might just be a hoax. I don't know. But I wanted to get it up because the reason I want to show this is because this is the trajectory that I expect the system to come from. And I expect it to go around, make its perihelion, and then come back out past the Earth and Mars and Venus. And if I am believing, or again, this is a heads up. It looks like this could be the system. And the reason why I say that is, again, it's too coincidental in terms of where it's going and how it's traveling. And again, if it's a star instead of a comet, it's going to have a pretty bad impact on us. And then, as you can see, it kind of comes from below the ecliptic and then goes up above the ecliptic and then back down again. So heads up for Comet 67P. I will try to get more information on it in tomorrow's or the next video I do. Here's an interesting observation, and the reason why this is interesting is this is our Australian Antarctic Division Skycam from the South Pole. These two objects we see during the day, and we have seen them all winter long, around 10:30, 11:30 in the morning. Now we're starting to see those objects at night with some companions, and we were able to see them under a full moon. So another kind of just another piece of information, just heads up, okay? And then here's somebody also, you know, seeing the halo from the United States, and then doing this and just pointing out that they're seeing the light coming out through those three areas. This is just a wild panoramic view of a cloud coming in that just looks weird. Here's an aircraft photo. Lens flare down here. I don't know if that's a lens flare. Again, it's one of those things where you got to be careful with what you're looking at, but they're so high above the cloud layer that it is possible for them to get a view behind the sun. Here's one of those weird, you know, chemtrails going on again, and you know, it almost appears like it's casting a shadow up. I don't know how that would be possible, or it's casting its shadow ahead of itself, but it's just weird. This would be a cool sunrise or sun, you know, this would be a cool sunset, except at 1713 in this webcam to Mexico photo. The problem is that it's facing east. So guys, I think things are changing quick, and that's why I wanted to make this video tonight. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's making me a little bit nervous here, guys. This should not be happening. You should not have this much light from the east. And then this is just a little stop motion on the 24th of this either comet or other object that's appearing in space. Here is another recent eclipse photo that they're kind of leaking in. We went through and identified that these all were an expert lens photographer went through and said these are definitely lens flares or reflections. But the ones in the red that he said were objects. Here's Skycam, all Skycam during the day. We're seeing the two objects now clearly with some other object. Hong Kong's showing it. This is in the United States. This is from Australia at night. My brother Ed went through and he actually identifies the red, brown, and blue planets, or what he says is a brown dwarf. There's the, you know, again, it's just thing after thing, guys, and I just want to pray with you guys for a minute, man. This is from Sky. This is actually from ISS tonight. This is one of those emergency images that got to me. Seeing a strange red thing, and you know the planets are getting bigger. So stay close. I'm going to stay live on this show as long as I can. If things start getting really serious, I'm going to put on the live show so we can walk through it together as a group. I just want you to know that we're all praying together that we make it through this next tribulation period. And I just want you all to know that I'm praying for that to happen. And I hope that the people that are watching this are starting to prepare and put water aside. And then one final tip, please put aside some bleach. One drop of bleach can clean a lot of water, almost a gallon of water. So please start putting away a little bit of bleach with your water too, okay? Good night, everybody. I hope you do well.